Guys, my name is Phil Boszkowski, and today I'm going to talk about loops in JGrasp. So this is my first video for Khan Academy's talent search program, and also my first YouTube video. So I hope it goes well. Like I said, I'm going to talk about loops in Java programming in JGrasp. So if you're a person who doesn't know anything about Java programming or JGrasp, unfortunately, this is not a video for you. I'll try to make more videos about how to start JGrasp, how to start Java. But now I'm just going to talk about loops and how to set them up in Java and what's their function, how many kinds are there in JGrasp. So like I said, I hope you guys know how to start JGrasp. So you basically go new, Java, and then you start the program, your window appears. Then you write public class, the name of your program, and then the public class static void method, which basically will be the place where you're going to write your program. For now, we're not going to indulge in any of the functions of public class and the public static void because classes and methods are a pretty complex topic in Java programming. So I hope to make other videos where I'm going to talk about methods and I'm going to talk about classes. Today I'm just going to cover loops, and what you need to know about these two lines is that you need them for your code to work properly and correctly. So for loop, so loops. There are three kinds of loops in Java. There is a for loop, a while loop, and a do while loop. Now, today I'm just going to talk about for loops, and I think many teachers and instructors start with for loops because they're easier to understand and easier to work with. I want and I am going to make more videos about while and do while loops, I'm going to talk more about them in later on videos. But today I'm just going to talk about for loops and how to use for loops in Java. Now, what I associate for loops is the linear function you use in math. I think everybody has seen this. Everybody who's taken Algebra 1 has seen this. Has seen a linear function, knows how a linear function works. The way I learned how linear function works is basically linear function is a math machine. You put numbers in, you put certain numbers in, certain values in, then you get certain output values out, certain numbers out. So you put an x value in and you get a certain y value out. And that's how for functions kind of work. They're basically loops. They're circles. So you put a number in, you put an object or a statement in, and the for loop takes that thing and makes it go around the circle, repeats it a certain number of times. So I want you to remember this. A for loop is something that takes an object, a statement, and makes it go around the circle a certain amount of times. So if you analyze the sentence I just said, there are two parts to the sentence. So taking an object or a statement or whatever in and making it go multiple times around a circle. To tell the for loop what to take and how to make it go multiple round times, to declare how many times we want something to go around the circle, we have to set up the loop. And the loop is consisted of three parts. So you declare a variable, okay, then you set up a condition, and then you increase or decrease the value. Now, I'll set up the whole loop because I think that's the easiest way to explain how this works. So I'm going to talk about, okay, so a for loop is consisted of three parts. It's consisted of declaring a variable, an integer variable, assigning it an initial value, then setting up a condition with that variable. So here, I is less than or equal to 20. Give me a sec, I'm going to talk about why this is important. And then we increase or decrease the value every time the program executes. So what does this actually mean? So because we want to tell the for loop how many times we want it to go around the circle, we have to set up a number that we have to set up a stopwatch or sort of a timer for the for loop to look at and to know how many circles have passed and how many circles are left for a thing to repeat itself. So by setting up a variable, any variable, and setting up an initial value, and then telling the for loop to go around the circle while the variable value is less or equal than some number, in this case 20, is basically how we set up a circle. And each time we execute the program, we tell the for loop that the number of the variable, the number of I, the value of I will increase by 1. So to better understand how for loops work, I always like to use the analogy of the track, of running around a track. So imagine this is a circular track, and your coach and teammate is over here counting your circles, and you tell them, hey coach, I want you to stop me when I pass 10 circles. So, and then you start from the start line here, and then you start running, and you run 1 circle, 2 circles, 3 circles, till you reach 10 circles, and when you reach 10 circles, your coach says, stop, you've reached 10 circles, you've done your job. That's how for loops work. They're basically your coach or slash teammate who tells you, who gets something and who tells an object or a statement when to stop repeating itself. So here, that object, that statement, is basically the system.out.println. I hope everybody's acquainted with the output line. So in this case, the object, the statement we're repeating is the output line. And in this case, we want to print all the values of I. And now I'm gonna compile and run this message in order for better to show how the for loop works. So okay, JGrasp working, okay, operation completed, so no errors. Okay, so here's the compile message. As you can see in the compile message, when we want the value of I, the program, the compile message window, gives us all the values from 1 to 20. And that makes sense because the initial value of I is 1. So what the program does, it reads from top to bottom. So it goes, okay, it reads public class, okay, public static void, that's cool. Oh, a for loop, okay, cool. So what do we have in the for loop? Initial value of I, cool, that's 1. Then we have a condition, so less or equal to 20. Okay, cool. And then I should increase by 1 every time this program executes. Cool, I get that. So what does the user want me to do? Okay, output the value of I. So he goes, he sees, okay, the value of I is 1, and then he prints out the value of I. So that's 1. Then he goes back into loop and looks at the for loop and says, okay, so I should increase the value of I by 1. So he increases it. Now I is 2. Then he goes to the condition, looks at it, and says, okay, so 2 is less than 20, so the condition is satisfied. So that means I can go back and print out, compile the output line again. So I can use the output line again. So what he does is looks at the I, makes it bigger by 1. And that makes I 2 because I is less than 20. He goes back to the output line and prints the number 2. Then he goes back and sees that I should increase by 1. So increases I by 1. Now I is 3. And he looks back at the condition and looks and says, okay, I is less than 20. So this satisfies the condition again. So he goes back to the output line and prints the I value again. And that's why we get 3. And he does that 20 times. He does that 20 times. So he has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He reaches 20, so the I is 20 now. He outputs it, he goes back, increases the number of I by 1. He goes back to the I, sees that it's now 21, goes to the condition, and now he says, well, 21 is not smaller or equal to 20. So the condition is not satisfied, so I have to cancel the loop. And the program cancels the loop and doesn't go to the output line again. And that's how loops work. Is basically it takes an object, it takes a statement, and runs it multiple number of times. To declare how many number of times we want something to go around the circle, we have to declare it in this bracket here. And we declare it by setting a variable that will go to a certain number, and when it reaches a certain value, it stops, and it stops the circle, stops the repetitions. And the object in this case again is the output statement. And again, like the for loops takes that output and takes it around the circle until the condition is satisfied. When the condition is not satisfied in the for loop, that's when the for loop cancels. I hope this video was helpful enough. I hope you understand for loops better now and know how to set them up. Again, I'll do more videos about loops in my next videos, and I hope this was helpful. And subscribe and tell me if I need to add more things and if I made a mistake. I would love some feedback. That's great. And yeah, thank you guys, and I hope to see you next time.